Hello guys, and welcome to another semifinals match from Worlds 2014. My name is Steven.
And I'm Zach.
And we've got Davis on the left facing off against Pat on the right, a second Pat now in the semifinals. And we have a rewind of the first semifinal game. We've got Packmaster Kith and we've got Captain Cato Sicarius. So both games being Space Marines versus Dark Eldar. Very interesting. And Davis leading with the old marksman there.
It is really interesting that through the field of the top 16, and I mean even the Swiss field, you have Space Marines and Dark Eldar kind of rising to the top. So curious to see, I guess, a semi-rematch here, and if Space Marines can come out on top again.
Yeah, I'm confident. I think we saw this matchup whenever Jeremy played it. Looked pretty good in the Space Marines' favor. Archon's Terror, of course, being having an impact, but I don't know if it's enough. I don't know what this matchup is looking for to basically swing it one way or another. There goes the Survivalist.
The Survivalist is a key part of this game if Dark Eldar has to win. That card is so good.
It's so good, and they just make really good use of it. Need a little command boost, and both players now running Eldar Survivalist. Obviously, not just the coolest looking unit in the game, but also quite good in their own right.
It's unbelievably good. And you have the Trailblazer there coming in with two command icons to shut that off. The card resource on the same unit and the 2 health is just so good. It's crazy.
It's an interesting play for me. I like the idea of waiting and maybe trying to sneak in and win that command struggle at the last second, or even sending Cato there. It's interesting to commit to it so quickly to then put the pressure back on Pat to reinforce or go elsewhere. Could be the number of cards that that Davis has in hand to actually be able to play. There's the Rangers. No one diving in on the first planet yet.
Yeah, I think part of it too, though, is if you can get Pat to commit more units out to that last planet, as Cato, you're kind of okay with that. If you look at the planet structure here, we've got blue on the first 4 planets. We had green in the last game on the first 4 planets. So this game could end real quick, and that 5th planet is going to be red, which is... It could be relevant if you win 1 and 3, I guess. But
it can be relevant 1 and 3, which makes it all the more relevant to Davis here.
I think it's also important to note, and I think this is a big part of the game, which is Space Marines have initiative on 1, 3, and 5 here. They have initiative to start the game, and that was kind of a big deal last game.
Here we have the same kind of play.
Look at that.
Maxa is going to provide Archon's Terror immunity and also lock down that first planet. Threaten to drop units in when needed. So it just becomes a problem to go into that first planet with any kind of certainty as to what you can accomplish.
Particularly against Dark Eldar. You know they've got Archon's Terror, and they rely on that to win games.
Yes.
It's one of the best cards in the game. So both being able to shut that down and put more units in is pretty important. We've got a Void Pirate coming there.
There's Void Pirate giving Cato a couple of good planets to look at. And it's really going to have... This first Warlord commitment is going to be really critical. That's usually the case. I love that. 10th Company Scout going to go ahead and tie the Void Pirate there. And now Pat's got to make a choice here. And he goes and Rogue Traders the 4th planet. So we've got ties all the way down the line. It's going to be a hard-fought command struggle this time. Where these Warlords go, man, I just do not know.
Yeah, if I'm Dark Eldar here, I'm curious what he's going to do.
Quick decisions there.
All right.
And Kith going to reinforce the Survivalist, bringing Kymerae in there.
Which is good. That's going to net him a lot of resources and cards. I kind of like Kith going to Planet 2. Even though he's already winning the command struggle, I think winning Planet 2 and 4 is going to be really important with him having initiative.
And there's all sorts of goodness coming from those planets.
All right, we're going to get 3 resources and a card. Mucho importante.
Pretty good down the line there. Now, Cato smoking that Void Pirate is going to have or that Rogue Trade is going to have a real kind of plus effect on this command struggle ultimately. Going to mobile in there.
Absolutely.
So he's going to yield 1 more resource and take a unit off the board. A little bit of board control.
It's part of what makes Cato so good, right? I mean, it's
the ability to shut down. Useful ability in all aspects of the game.
Yeah, you shut down their command struggle. At the same time, remove the units and gain resources yourself. So you have a lot to gain from going out to planets like that and just shutting down their command struggle.
And there's range. Going to kill the old rogue trader. Net a resource.
Seems okay. I love the art on that planet.
Yeah, chance for actions. And we're going to trigger on.
He's going to move brother to a planet of choice. Very good.
All right, and moving him on in.
Pat's going to win that last planet. I think he gets to rowdy a unit.
Yeah, throw him back home there.
Yeah.
So a reasonable first exchange, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, obviously, Davis won a planet, so that's in his favor, and it's all three of the planet types. But it's not a decisive advantage either way. And with Kith not having initiative there, that's kind of just how it goes.
You know what's fascinating is we saw almost almost the exact same opening out of the first semifinal game with Jeremy. And Pat there choosing to fight on that planet. Of course, Cato going to the Eldar Survivalist at the end. And it ultimately didn't work out. So we see a way different line here from both players. And maybe it's going to favor somebody more than the other line did. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I guess a very important part of this game is seeing how these different chains of events play out. Ultimately looking for that, last planet to win you the game.
Yeah, and speaking of planets, that one that just flipped, having a blue on the planet, unless first planets just go unclaimed, that means that will absolutely be the last planet.
And there's Siren gonna go ahead and really lock down that second planet.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it basically means that Void Pirate is going to get that extra card because everything's going to come in exhausted. It's going to be hard to contest that command.
It's also a planet where when it's up for contention, Davis is going to have the initiative, so you're going to make it tough for him to actually come in and win that planet. Or at least feign that that's going to be the difficulty.
Absolutely. All right, so the Earthcast Technician going to go fetch an Iron Halo.
I hear those cards are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Raid.
Raid. I love that. I love that inclusion. Take one from your opponent.
And you get to pass the action. That's when it hits, it's real good.
Yeah, that's very good exchange. Luckily, it's limited. Or else it could get crazy.
Yeah, I'll raid. That was a good game.
Good game. And Davis having to really think about things here. Not getting any new information out of Pat. Deciding.
Ion Rifle.
Ion Rifle comes in. And so that's also going to kind of seed tempo a little bit and say, well, I want to see where you're going. Going to give him +3 attack there. And there's the Baleful Mandrake.
Nice.
Range with 3 strength. Going to go in and try to kill that marksman before he gets a chance. So we could see Kith actually jump into that planet.
Whew.
And bringing the Survivalist into the party. Well, that planet now is very, very interesting. Choosing whether or not to shield, I don't think it's worth it.
No, absolutely not.
So is this just basically stacking him up for Cato to resource down? Is this inviting Kith now to come in and try to do something on that planet?
It's doing all these things.
It's doing everything all at once.
Yeah, and I mean, he has enough units there now to not even need Cato. So he could feign that Cato's going there and then put him somewhere else. First, second planet, steal that first planet.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty important.
Another Survivalist doubles down on the 4th planet. Very important.
All right, they're passing. To the dials. I feel like Cato's going to 1. Nope, he's going to 3.
So he is going to, and we're going to have ourselves a party here. Now, Pat has the initiative. He could clear out some units and then...
well, he has ranged and initiative.
See you later,
Important to note.
Yeah, that marksman also has range, so he's going to need to take care of that marksman immediately. Could have a No Mercy in hand to really make sure the job gets done here. But I like this. Pat really contesting these planets here. Doing well on the command.
All right. Well, the stage is set. I see the 3 shield over in Pat's hand. That could be critical.
These players are about even here. And the first thing we want to do, of course, is...
Resolve the first
Well,
planet.
we want to resolve the first planet is what I would do first, yeah? I guess they're not doing that yet.
All right. Well, I am certain they'll remember that about the time. There it is.
Yeah, there's the...
All right. So he's gonna get his first planet. He can trigger it, right?
Absolutely. Could just be a miss here, man. Interesting.
All right. Well, we'll continue on to the third planet.
You gotta resolve that battle ability, yeah? We got ourselves a heated battle anyway, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it.
All right, Kymerae, swinging in.
And he gets it. All right, so that's some good resources off the board.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all that happened this turn, that would be okay.
All right, we got actions happening here. Sicarius has chosen shooting at the Mandrake. Great little card. We're gonna shield 3, it looks like.
Nice, very nice.
And
Kith.
now Packmaster Kith. Pick of the litter here.
Man, this battle is teetering on the edge of swinging.
It's right in the middle.
Although I always believe Space Marines to have just one more shield. Every time.
Yeah, Maxis takes 2. This would be a very strong No Mercy from Pat if it's in the deck. He's got Siren over there to make it happen. Sicarius swinging in. You know
yeah, he's going after the ranged guy there.
Yeah, the Drake there.
Yep, gonna shield it.
Shields 2. Survivalist swings and does nothing. And there's Eager Recruit.
Man, that card is so good. Anytime you can play a unit, not when you normally would play units. I dig that.
As a Targaryen ambush player, I think of all people, you should know that.
Yep, that's where my heart is.
Now, this is going to send, keep in mind, this is going to send a lot of people back to headquarters. And that's something that we have to bear in mind, especially as Davis is looking to basically get this next planet, that first planet. It's going to be tough, I think, to pull that off. All right, so ready and then we've got a chance to retreat
option
here.
to retreat.
Tough. I'd love to clear Brother Maxos off the board here.
Yeah, I just don't see this going well for Dark Eldar. And he's staying, so we'll see if it does go well. You just can't, man.
Indomitable here is a problem.
Yep.
Yep. This is where things go bad, and this is where Space Heroes... Now, he's ultimately two cards in hand at this point.
All right, gonna use his Doom there. The shield.
Shield Packmaster.
Yeah, I mean, that's... with only 2 attacks to Cato's or Space Marines 4, I feel like this is just a bad exchange.
It's important, though, to get Maxos off the board, man. Like, that's significant. He's such a problem. And kind of opening up Archon's Terror on some of these other units. Maxos can't just sit there and lock down a planet anymore. I think this is okay. You lose the Survivalist, no big deal. You don't want to lose that Mandrake. I think he's gonna lose it, though. He probably needs to just save those cards and find another day. And Sicarius is gonna start raking in some resources.
I mean, it's tough. I'm gonna vote on tough on this one.
Yeah, tough.
Tough decisions. It's just you're gonna lose your 2 guys and give Cato 2 resources.
There's just not a great exchange here, you know. I think that's what we constantly run into. And Kith looking to take 2 damage here. Gonna shield it or not? I hope not, right? I think I would have used it on... Yeah, just gonna take it. That's correct.
Now, I mean, is the loss of those 2 units worth getting rid of? Brother.
Well, we got rid of a few things. I mean, we got rid of the ion rifle.
Totally that, yeah. But he could have retreated there.
He could have. I think so. Maybe that's significant. Now, if Davis draws into another one, it's just a bad day. But
a real bad day.
I think that's the most powerful card certainly that Space Marines have on the board. Certainly, maybe in the entire game. I mean, it
is, but they also have to have resources, right? So
never a problem.
He had 2 at the time, and he gained 2 more because he stayed. And if he saves resources to drop guys in instead of playing them for the command struggle, I'm almost okay with that.
You're almost okay with it.
Almost.
We'll see. This is where things are going to heat up. Pat does not have initiative, but he does have a decent little unit there on the first planet. Marksman's going to come out to the last planet there.
Oh, Space Marines. Oh, Space Marines.
Another Mandrake.
Ouch. Those guys are...
Yeah, going to the second planet now.
Is he loyal? I think he's loyal.
Ion Rifle goes on to the 10th company over there. And we have another raid.
Yeah.
Raid are really good, actually, meta call, I think, against Space Marines. Good one to have in the deck. They're usually going to have more resources than you coming into even the very beginning of every deployment.
Promotion.
Yeah, and going to promote there. We got the Wild Rider Squadron, just an excellent unit. Can take a combat action and move to an adjacent planet once per phase.
That's real good.
That's excellent. And now the first planet is really going to get juicy. A lot of resources committed there. Davis going to have to make a choice. Double pass. 5 resources in hand.
Yeah, and you really don't want to give Davis this planet because you'll have 2 3-color planets, so you can win anywhere and everywhere. We'll see where we go. Cato's going to 1.
Cato goes to 1.
I don't think Kith is.
Nope. Kith goes to 2. This could be serious, man.
I mean, I'm curious because if he'd retreated last turn, he'd have another resource card and another range guy at this planet, setting up for next turn to pretty much seal that planet.
You know who would be at the first planet right now is old Maxos.
Old Maxos, though. Yeah,
5 resources.
You're right.
It's just it's a hard trade. That's why these games are always so good. I don't know the best. Yeah, I don't know the best thing here.
Look at all those resources.
Tons of resources.
That's going to go
Initiative
down.
over here. This is a problem. Pat needs to blow one of these guys out with an Archon's Terror or something. He needs something to turn this battle.
He's thinking about an action here. See if he does it. He's probably going to action move that guy.
He can sort of just move him out, which is seeding the planet, but
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Choices are hard.
He is going to move him.
That's going to make him essentially untouchable on the first planet next turn.
Yeah.
But this means that the 5th planet, or what was the 5th planet at the start of the game, is now very seriously in Davis's control.
And it's one that Pat won't get any benefit from, really whatsoever. So Pat's going to have to win a lot of planets here. Basically, the next 3 planets he has to win the game.
Really a shame to miss that early trigger, by the way.
Yeah.
On the planet. Range going to hit the Chosen for 3, and that'll do it.
There they go. The promoted Chosen.
And then going to trigger that battle ability to move the Mandrake to the next planet. So feels pretty confident with this planet being able to be won.
Yeah,
and I think that's the correct choice.
Because he has to win the next 3 planets to win the game. So moving that's I think a good choice because Cato is going to want to go to that planet to get ready for next round, and with a ranged guy and some
You want to make it as
serious
painful
jam
as
there.
possible.
Yeah, you want to make it. It's like, well, if you go there, I'm going to knock off some units.
Yeah, the second planet now, very, very important for Pat.
And this is, as the Dark Eldar player here, it's a super tough position to be in. Once you can get it to a spot where you can win on 2 or 3 planets in a row, it's so tough to just win every planet.
Yep.
That's not going to be the worst start.
I think you're pretty well locked on first planet here. There's not much to be gained by reinforcing. I mean, really, second and third planet right now are the big ones. I mean, Pat's got to win this third planet to win the game, right? Are we agreed on that?
Yeah.
So got to get that third blue.
Also, how about 14 resources?
Pretty wild. Yep.
That is just, especially with drop pods and guys that can be played in during combat, it's bizarre.
I'm sure that he's very happy that old Maxos is off the board. You know, it's
Maxos would be a real problem at this point. I see the point.
So he may have ultimately made. I mean, it's hard to judge because like, would things be happening now if Maxos was on the board or not? But it does make it obvious how scary that is.
Those Rangers are going to be very critical in winning several planets in a row. So he may just be able to do this here. He's down several planets, but I'm not going to put Kith out just yet.
Not just yet. I like this. This is a really, really solid game going on here. Honored Librarian comes into play. Of course, can't attack him unless there are only him on the planet. And then also playing a Land Raider. Oh, dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enemy card abilities to non-vehicles. CEO Archon's Terror. What a bummer.
Yeah, basically you have to get rid of the tank first, right?
You basically tear him up first, but that's fine.
I mean, you would tear him no matter what, probably.
He's at 3-7 over there?
Kith coming in hot. Another Kymerae token there.
So, really what we're trying to do here is just whittle down the Space Marine forces. That's what Pat's going to try to do here. Obviously, Planet 1, he's got it. He can move one of his units over there, which is going to be very significant once he wins his battle ability. So he'll probably move that Wild Rider over. Could move the Rangers over if he wants to do a ranged assault. And man, just churning along. Pressure's on, but he's staying in here. Oh yeah, I can combat action him over, and then he can trigger battle ability to move something else over too. Yeah, so combat action moves him over here.
Yeah.
And then probably going to trigger the battle ability here.
Yeah. That's really good for him. With initiative, this is going to be a bloodbath.
I'm really excited about this. And the Rangers do come over. The rest of the crew is going to go back home.
All right, we got a real game going on.
Well, I think this is probably the where things happen, Zach.
This is absolutely where things happen. We got a stack of units. They're going to divide them out here so we can see them a little more clearly. Also, those Kymerae tokens are insanely good. Attack on a little guy you don't want to waste an attack on.
You've got 2 ranged volleys here as well. Very significant. You've got then a bunch of 2-1 Chimeras with your own initiative. And takes out the old eager recruit to start things off.
Interesting choice. A unit that is already exhausted.
Yeah.
Get rid of that first. Any reason why that would be the case?
I can't tell you, man, honestly.
I didn't know if he had some ability or some cards that may stand him or something. I kind of avoided the Space Marines as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
This is pretty powerful because he has 2 ranged and he's still going to get to attack first.
Yeah, so Land Raider's going to take some damage. Where once you commit to that Land Raider, you are committed.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard for me to do that, just because you could clear out some of these Trailblazers and whatnot and have a really good second volley next turn.
Yeah, it looks like he's saving 2, though. So, drop pod, here we come. It could be the case that he's trying to just get rid of the tank and then be able to send some things home, because the
Archon
tank's going to be a
Sam
problem for the rest of the game.
I mean, I don't know why. Why do you not just Archon's Terror the tank in that instance, and then clear out all the units?
If you do, the tank's going to probably be on the next planet the next turn.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to deal with it then. So getting rid of it is better than just sending it home. Looks like Kith's going to get bloody.
Man,
here.
drop potting Honored Librarian is just insanely good.
It is the jam.
It's exactly what it's about. And this has turned completely at this point.
Now, again, there's a shield for 2. It's important, too, to realize that this planet is not going to get taken this turn. So as Kith, if you can just get him down on units here.
You're trying to weaken here.
Yeah.
And, this is going the other direction for sure. And Davis just drop potting in that Librarian. It looks really bad here.
Yeah, Librarians are insane.
Swing for nothing there, and the Trailblazer's going to try to kill that Kymerae. Probably going to succeed.
You bet. You've got to ask where it's worth spending your shields here.
It's going to come right down to the end. Oh, man, and more damage coming. 4 from the Librarian.
Yep.
This is over. This is
going
done.
real bad. Yep.
Can you imagine being in like an actual Warhammer style battle and just seeing everybody get
slaughtered,
dominated like this?
And an eager recruit to boot. Going to be another unit down. Really a shield irrelevant.
A shield out of hand, just,
and more resources to just seal up the deal on this next turn. So this is brutal.
Do we have like a Doom or something?
You actually already used his action to move from the first planet to this planet. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that before that situation. Okay, I'm gonna ready here. Do you have any ability?
All right, so everybody readies, and my goodness, this has just become a complete rout here.
Now Doom is HQ, right? Or is it?
Yeah, I think it's HQ. You're right. I was thinking of Exterminatus.
Yeah, Exterminatus is a planet,
which would be pretty cool right now.
Yeah, a Doom. The problem with the Doom and even Exterminatus, which I've said, is if you're gonna spend 4 on something, like if he spends 4 here, it doesn't leave him much to actually play things.
Yeah.
So your opponent has a 1,000,001 resources. I don't even know if that does anything for you here.
I think the ultimate problem is that Davis has 14 resources.
Yeah, and on the Doom, it doesn't matter. All those units are at the first planet anyway.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah, this is a problem, and Davis has initiative, so this is going real well for the Space Marines here.
Trying to find a way out. I am not certain that it exists.
Does he have an illegal warp storm?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's the answer here. But there's a Hellion gang.
They're flying.
You're going to get torn up by those Honored Librarians. Oh, goodness. But I tell you, the Land Raider may have really turned that battle.
Yeah, having to waste all those attacks on the Land Raider. Or not having to.
Get a little tempo there and pass it over with a 0 cost attachment.
Yeah. AoE, a big AoE here could be a thing, but all right, that's not terrible.
We're going to need a lot more of that.
Yeah.
And the Hellion gang's going to come on over.
Just pure brutality.
Not seeing this, Zach. I'm not seeing it happen.
I'm seeing it happen for the Space Marines.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing it happen for Space Marines. Well, there's an Incubus Warrior.
Just so we're aware, Space Marines has 13 of cards on the board that isn't a Warlord. So that's a lot of your deck that is in play.
Yeah, a lot of your deck in play.
Going to 1, we're going to get another Kymerae.
And here we go. Well, let's see what happens. Watch him just blow
no
out
Kymerae because she's blooded. My bad.
Right.
Yeah, this is just bad. No resources.
You know, you find it a little curious, the fact that these alt-art cards up front were Space Marine cards, huh?
It's like they thought they were good and they'd
It's
be
as
around
if
for a while.
we had an understanding that Space Marines are pretty much the jam.
Yeah, and he's going to attack Kith here, so you're going to have to take an action to send Kith home, which is real unfortunate. Because she's bloody.
Man, those drop pod assaults just
Doing it.
wild.
And a resource to boot. Man, if you were playing on our store, he'd be getting all the achievements right now.
That's right.
Have your entire deck on the board.
You know, I wonder if you get into a situation with Space Marines where it's like, do we have like a desperado situation here where it's like, how do you not, like Cato's going to be hard to not run. I mean, Ragnar's pretty cool, but I think everyone's like, yeah, he's cool, but Cato is the most solid warlord that we know.
Yeah, Ragnar's calling my name.
Let the murdering commence, Zach.
Yeah.
Both players know it.
Hey, dead. Resource. Oh, he's going to get up to like 30 resources here.
It's going to be a problem. I still have faith. Some faith.
He
Well,
had the
there's
Doom.
Doom, but
Not doing much. All right, up to 16 resources. Make it 17.
I like the Pat's playing this out. I really enjoy that. It's like, you know what?
I'm going to make you show me you've got it. All
Let's
right, here we
enjoy
go. He's going to get rid of that tank, by golly. Or not, if shields abound.
Yeah. I think there's a moral victory here for the Land Raider.
He's going for the Land Raider. There it is.
He gets it.
The victory, the moral victory.
Well, hey, you taking out some Space Marines tech for next time you encounter them in the galaxy. That's at least something that's worth noting.
Going to 19. He's going to get to 20. He's breaking 20 resources here. Craziness.
There
Wow,
it is,
what a
man.
phenomenal game. Congrats to both players. Space Marines being the king of the hill right now. Going to have a Space Marine v Space Marine finals.
This means, yeah, we will have Jeremy versus Davis in the finals. Catch us there, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see who is the better Space Marine.